AFTV Mo, fans singing today, we've got our Arsenal back.
Oh, it's funny, I didn't want to talk about that. That's the first thing you hit me with. I just thought that was a bit unnecessary. Do you know what I mean? Because what I want to do is forget about last season. I want to forget about
the reason why they were singing that is because, number one, it came after that fantastic goal by Ramsey, and just the way that we impose ourselves on this game away from home. We have not done that for so long.
I interpreted it differently. I thought it was more a reference of how poor we were last year, especially our poor away form and all that sort of stuff. So for me, I don't know. I as I said, I took that differently. But forget about that, man. How good was that today, man? How fun was it to come to an away game, and how good was the atmosphere? All the fans
got our Arsenal
together. It was brilliant.
Well, no, it was fantastic.
Brilliant. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I've had that much fun at an away game. Really, really good. Because most of the time at away games, it's tighter than that. We sit there, we're biting our fingernails, but this was just chilled. After the first half, obviously, first half was pretty average. We weren't clinical enough with our final ball and our finishing and that sort of stuff, and ended on a really annoying note with one of our most consistent, dependable players, Monreal. His momentum is taking him off the pitch. He knows that as he strikes that ball. You've got to play it down the line. You've got to play it in the air.
Whack it down the line.
Yeah, but whatever you do, it's got to be in the air. Yeah? And you shouldn't be playing it inside. But if you're going to play it inside, it's got to be in the air. So 2 mistakes there. It should be down the line in the air. He played it inside on the ground. And if you do that, your momentum's taking you off the pitch and you're going to leave yourself open. They attacked down his side and scored the goal. It was so frustrating. And usually when a team scores just before half-time, it really puts the wind in their sails. They come out with that momentum. But Arsenal shut that down brilliantly. And every week I come on here and I talk about Lacazette's work rate. It was incredible today. Again, and not only him, Iwobi and Welbeck as well. I thought all three of them, as a trio, they're our best pressing trio. If we ever, want to pick a team just to press, that's the attack you start with. Obviously,
next to me pointed out one time that when Welbeck pressed one time, Lacazette then dropped behind him to pick up the pass back to the pass outlet. Yeah. So there really is a plan to this at the moment.
It really is a plan. And, even with Emery as well, it seems like what he's doing isn't haphazard. Some eyebrows were raised when Aubameyang's on the bench today and Welbeck's, in the starting lineup. But if you look at it, those three players who worked their socks off today, Lacazette, Iwobi and Welbeck, all three of them came off. It was almost like it was a game plan. You run your socks into the ground. Just absolutely leave nothing out there. You're all going to be coming off, obviously bar injuries or something like that. And that's what happened. And Emery, when he joined the club, he spoke about being the protagonist. Today, his proactive substitutions absolutely just killed the game. Because we were 2-1 up, and he's taken, he's brought Ramsey and Aubameyang on. 62nd minute Aubameyang, 67th minute Ramsey. In the 67th minute, Aubameyang sets up Ramsey to score an amazing goal. And then Aubameyang goes and gets 2 more after that. It was absolutely his substitutions that made the game completely go into Arsenal's favour rather than being a 50-50 game. So Emery deserves a lot of praise today. It was just brilliant overall.
Emery is getting the best out of these players. We're going under the radar, Mo.
Yeah.
We don't want to listen, we've been going to these games long enough to get carried away. But are you hopeful? Are you looking at a Fulham fan that said bring back Wenger? But you were hopeful, and are you looking at it and thinking, you know what? I think this team's good enough to get into the top 4 this season.
Well, do you know what? We have to say we're good enough to get in the top 4 because we have got brilliant players out there. But it's just that, given all the change that's happened at our club, it will be a very, very, decent season if we do get top 4 because no one's expecting that. And also things we couldn't legislate for. Well, I say that, but we probably could have legislated for Mourinho having a third season syndrome. But none of us really expected United to be as bad as they have been this year. So that really opens up the door. And Tottenham, they don't look great. They're scraping results, but they don't look great. So there really is that opportunity there. But, for me, I just kind of think, at this stage of the season, I wasn't expecting to be 2 points off the lead. And effectively, if City and Liverpool draw today, then Chelsea already winning, Hazard's already scored. But them 3 will be on 20 points and Arsenal and Tottenham are on 18. Do you know what? That's all right for us, given that it's a new manager and new players, new system, all that sort of stuff. With that level of change, I'm quite content with that. And it does set us up to play with a bit more confidence and say, we're not far off the top and hopefully get that top 4 spot. So I'm happy. And I want to say 2 things today. I'm not sure whether Arsenal fans are allowed to say this or not. It's a bit of a sin. But Mustafi, played brilliantly. Yeah, am I allowed to say that?
Of course you're allowed to.
Arsenal fans are allowed to praise
He was
Mustafi?
superb today.
Yeah. And Bellerin.
And do you know what? And I was saying to someone the other day with Mustafi, I was looking at some stats, and he's stats on clearances and aerial duels is excellent. And if you think about this season, how many times have we been done from corners or things like he's not been as bad as some. I know he's had little moments where he's slipped over and he's been rash, but he's not been as bad as some people have been making out.
But look, Mustafi's still got it in his locker to make himself look a bit silly sometimes. But then, like, surely as fans, what we can do when he has a stellar game like today, don't just parrot the same old stuff that we used to saying every week about Xhaka, about Bellerin, about Mustafi. When they have a good game, let's call that out.
Bellerin was outstanding today.
Bellerin, Bellerin can't cross. So I'm going to say another thing that Arsenal fans aren't allowed to say. What a cross, what an assist for Aubameyang's goal, right? Bellerin did brilliantly today. Before the game today, I thought to myself, Mitrovic on Mustafi, that concerns me. I thought Sessegnon on Bellerin, that concerns me. Sessegnon did nothing. He was playing more as a defender than he was as an attacker. Bellerin pushed him right back. And Mitrovic, what did he do today? Mustafi was on point. Bellerin was on point. Xhaka, absolutely fine, no complaints with him. It's just nice to be able to talk about these players and say, do you know what, they were all brilliant today. And it's even more of an incentive to call it out because too often they get unfair stick. In terms of the players that just absolutely wowed me today, Mustafi was definitely one of them. Lucas Torreira was incredible. I thought he was brilliant. He's an absolute specialist. For a long time, I've been a believer that in that central defensive midfield position, you're only going to have one CDM generally, right? Xhaka for me is not a CDM, yeah? That one player who's doing that job by himself has to be a specialist. You can't go and get generalist players to try and do that role. You can't put Xhaka in that position and then complain when he has defensive lapses. Torreira is a specialist and he shows that. He's so switched on, his tackles, his interceptions, his all-round play, so quick on the ball when he gets it to distribute it. He's absolutely brilliant. He was superb today. Lacazette as well. I mean, what can you say about the kid? He's just absolutely phenomenal. And Iwobi and Welbeck as well, I thought they had stellar games. There's a lot of positives from today. I'm very happy. Basically, today I'm going to leave it on this. Arsenal were Khabib without the bad ending.
Don't forget, each and every Friday on Channel 4, it's the Real Football Fan Show at 12 o'clock. It's the best show, best football show on TV. Take my word for it. You can also catch up on all four, but make sure you watch the programme, the Real Football Fan Show.